Well, news is coming in and in a major victory for the security forces. 2 Jaish terrorists have been killed in Pulwama. These terrorists, in fact, were believed to be the mastermind in the recent Pulwama attack. Kamran and IED expert Ghazi Abdul Rashid are the 2 terrorists who have been eliminated by the security forces, but identification of the slain terrorists are yet to take place. This is the latest bit of news that we're just receiving right now about these 2 terrorists, Kamran and Rashid, who are believed to have masterminded the suicide strike with bomber Adil Ahmed Dar, who blew up 35 kgs of IED while slamming his Tata Sumo SUV into a convoy of CRPF Jawans. Abhishek Bala joins us now for more on this. Abhishek, this sounds to be a big catch, a major victory for the security forces. Just give us more information about these 2 terrorists who have been gunned down and eliminated by the security forces.
Yes, we are hearing that the 2 terrorists who had engaged the security forces for long have been gunned down. In fact, there are also reports that these could be Kamran and Ghazi, who were the main conspirators of the Pulwama attack on the CRPF convoy, but there has to be verification of this. There's no official word from the agencies, and what they are saying is that they are yet to identify the 2 killed. But along with this, there is also a setback for the security forces, as there have been 4 casualties, including an army major, and that's a little bit of a dampener. But the security forces cordoned off the area early morning today after getting specific input that top Jaish commanders are hiding in a house in Pulwama district in one of the villages. This was not too far from where the attack took place on the Sukma, on the convoy, on the CRPF convoy. And since then, since early morning, there was a fierce gun battle. When the 4 casualties took place of our forces, that's when there was a huge lull for about 2 to 3 hours. But the gun battle started again, and now we are finally hearing that 2 terrorists have been gunned down.
Okay.
It's still to ascertain whether there are more terrorists in the house or only these 2 who were engaging with the forces.
All right, and is the gunfire still on? What are you hearing from your sources? Has the entire area been cordoned off, and where exactly were these 2 terrorists killed?
The entire area is cordoned off, Avantika, and this place is about 10 kilometers away from where the attack on the CRPF convoy took place. This is an area in South Kashmir which is a hotbed of terror activities. The adjoining villages to Pulwama is where there has been increased local recruitment. In fact, I traveled to Kakapura, the village from where Adil Dar hailed, and I got a sense that there is extreme radicalization in the area. There are elements who are supporting terrorists. Terrorists are there in these areas, and they've been combating. They've been taking on security forces for quite long now. And what makes it extremely difficult for the security forces to engage in operations over here.
And that's also one of the most disturbing aspects, Abhishek, isn't it, of the terror attack in Pulwama, that the suicide bomber, who was a local, Adil Ahmed Dar, in fact lived in a village near Jammu-Srinagar highway where this attack had taken place. And clearly, you know, you've spent so much time in South Kashmir, so the indoctrination and radicalization of South Kashmir is also very frightening.
Yes, that's a major threat, Avantika, and that's the reason why we are seeing terror activities increasing. We are seeing these operations being launched by security forces to flush out terrorists, because the number of terrorists has increased manifold in the last 1 year. Last year, the local recruitment number that the officials...
Just kindly stay on with me, which is... All right, Shuja ul Haq joins us for more on this. And Shuja, that's perhaps one of the challenges that the security forces also face, the rampant radicalization and indoctrination of the youth in South Kashmir. And that's really a frightening scenario that has emerged in the aftermath of the Pulwama terror attack.
Well, yes, it is, it is a cause of concern for the entire security establishment. In fact, the manner in which these activities were being carried out is something that the security agencies have been constantly being worried about. But, as far as the operation that was carried out today, in which we've been given to understand now that 2 of these militants are dead, is very important. Since morning in itself, security forces and the top officials in the force were telling us that it is going to be a big operation, because it had started, in fact, immediately after the attack on the CRPF convoy on Saturday, that all the agencies came together and they started sort of following the trails, and they were developing intel on these men. And yesterday in the night, they got a specific information about their presence. That's when the entire operation was mounted. Top officials of the J&K police were themselves monitoring it from ground zero. So that in itself gives you the sense of the significance of this entire operation. Now that we've been given to understand 2 of them are killed, identities though have not been confirmed yet, but certainly a huge, development in the entire matter, even as we speak.
Oh, absolutely. And while there's a continuous effort to globally isolate Pakistan, Abhishek, you have been in the area. Just where have been the lapses? I mean, 40 of our security forces losing their lives as a result of this heinous attack that took place, this dastardly attack, is something that perhaps everybody on board, whether it's the military or the politicians, need to reflect upon. Just what are you hearing from your sources while India is diplomatically and strategically thinking about their next steps ahead? What are you hearing from your sources? What is going to be the strategy and game plan for the Indian Army?
Well, Avantika, flushing out of terrorists from South Kashmir is the big challenge. That's the focus. What has happened is over the last 1 year is that there has been an increase in local recruitment. There are Jaish commanders from Pakistan who managed to make their way in South Kashmir, and they are the ones who are proving to be the guides for these young men who are getting radicalized, who are being pushed into the terror ranks. And what is really alarming is that earlier the big attacks were carried out by these Pakistani terrorists, but with the Fidain attack carried out by Adil Dar on the CRPF convoy, it has put in place a very alarming situation. It means that these local youth who've been recruited are ready for such Fidain attacks, and that's a big challenge for the security and intelligence forces.
Oh, absolutely. And Abhishek, let me just ask that question to Shuja. This couldn't have been planned just a day in advance. It couldn't have happened over the fortnight. This is a very strategic planning. A lot of thought has gone into this particular attack. I mean, if you think about it, that highway is one of the most sensitive areas, South Kashmir also being a hotbed. How in the first place did all of this happen? I mean, how did the convoy of CRPF officials who were returning from leave become such a vulnerable target?
Well, Avantika, an analysis that was carried out after the blast took place clearly suggested that this attack was very meticulously planned.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.